Yeah, he said £2.
Oh, can you all hear me in the back there? So I'm a London Assembly member of Croydon and Sutton, and I've been an absolute nuisance at the London Assembly to the Mayor, to TfL, for at least the last 4 years that I've been on the Assembly. I first came to realise the problem following the tram crash down in Croydon, which is in my constituency, and all of the changes that were made to safety on the trams and tram driver safety, I realised they were not happening for buses. So one of the big issues... Sorry, can you hear me? Is that better? So I've been a pain in the backside at the London Assembly for the last 4 years. So I represent Croydon and Sutton, and it was the changes that I saw to driver welfare, rostering, after the tram crash. I realised they were not happening for bus drivers. So I put it in 2021 to Lily Matson, the head of safety at TfL. Why aren't you taking the rostering, what we know is best practice on driver rostering, so people aren't being mucked about, their schedules all over the place, driving fatigued. We know how to do that properly. Why don't you just force the bus companies to do it? If safety is your #1 priority, why don't you force the bus drivers to do it, the bus companies to do it? And she refused. And I realised that for TfL and for the Mayor, bus driver welfare and the safety, the public safety that comes from having poor bus driver welfare is a cost that they don't want to pay.
Correct.
They think it's a cost and they don't want to pay it. So that was on rostering, which is still not improved as far as I can tell.
No.
Yeah.
And then it comes to temperature. So we're now coming into the cold weather, and I've got on buses where I've been cold. I've seen the driver in a coat, looked like he got a body warmer under the coat, a woolly hat pulled down. I didn't investigate long johns, and a coat and gloves. That is not a safe way to be driving a vehicle through London. And then in the summer, of course, the whole thing just becomes a hot box. And I actually put this directly to the TfL Commissioner and to the Mayor. You'll particularly remember, I think 2 summers ago, there was a bus that crashed in Islington. The driver basically passed out from the heat. The bus crashed through the garden area next to a bus stop in front of a block of flats, and it was pure luck that no one was killed or seriously injured. The driver was in no state, in that kind of temperature, 40 plus degrees in the cab, no state to drive. So I put to the Commissioner and to Mayor Carr, why aren't you checking the buses for air conditioning? And you can find the clip online. In their answers to my questions, they kept changing the word. I used the word air conditioning. They kept changing it to ventilation. And I pointed out, ventilation just means moving the hot air around. That doesn't help anybody. It needs air conditioning. 20 years, air conditioning has been a completely normal thing in just a normal family car, and it's still treated today like some ridiculous luxury in a bus. Even though buses cost a damn sight more than an average family car. And I've still failed to get the Mayor or the Commissioner to agree that air conditioning is a basic requirement for a driver in a bus, even if not the whole bus, just the cab. It's a basic requirement, and they should be checking the bus companies are doing it, and they're not. And that's because bus driver welfare and bus safety, they see them as a cost that they are not willing to pay. And then we come on to speeds and traffic. And one of the most hilarious answers I've ever had from the Mayor, I said, well, when you lower speed limits from 30 to 20, what's the process to add a bit of extra time onto the bus route? Because obviously, it's going to take you longer to get from one end to the other and back if you've now got miles of 20 mile an hour in the way. Do you know his answer? 20 mile an hour limits don't slow vehicles down. No extra time is required. And actually, I've now seen in my constituency, we've recently had an example, the real process is this, right? This is their attitude to safety. Bus drivers cannot meet. This is the 154 route. I don't know if you've got any 154 drivers here. A bit far out of your range, possibly. It runs between Merton and Croydon. There's a dogleg via Sutton. They couldn't get to Croydon in time. Runs out of the Sutton depot. Couldn't get to Croydon before they ran out of time, so they had to keep curtailing and going back. TfL wouldn't accept that the slower roads were the reason why this was happening. And so for about 6 months, we basically had a dispute between the bus company, the drivers caught in the crossfire, TfL and the poor passengers trying to get somewhere, where bus after bus after bus was being turned back. Croydon had no service at all because the buses weren't even getting there. I became aware of this when my wife, when a group of friends went out to Croydon and got stuck for half an hour waiting for a bus that's supposed to come about every 8 to 10 minutes. And the problem was the route was not possible within the time. The bus company was telling TfL, and TfL wouldn't accept it. For 6 months, this is the process. The process is TfL pressure the bus company to meet the timetable that's impossible, and the bus drivers in the cab are being pressured, you know this more than I do, being pressured to meet the timetable that cannot be met. This is their safety is our top priority approach to bus welfare. They see bus driver welfare and bus safety as a cost that they are not willing to pay. I will continue, these are at least 3 examples I've seen. I will continue to be a pain in the arse on your behalf in City Hall. I expect I'll continue not to get very far with either the Commissioner or the Mayor, but I can guarantee you I will keep raising this issue, keep raising these problems until actually some common sense cuts through. Thank you very much for all that you're doing. And I will see you all again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, I think I'm up next.